Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey.
You came from Jersey?
Yeah.
Are you leaving tonight?
I might go and chill. I'm actually, when I leave here, I'm going to go to my man. He live in North Philly. I think it's North Philly. The shit is called like Conshakishin or Coxskin or some shit like that.
Coxskin? What the fuck,
I don't know.
bro?
It's some street out there. So I'm going to go chill with him and then back to Jersey.
Damn, yeah, I came from Mass for this shit.
Yeah.
It's funny, you were saying before the podcast, I wanted to talk about it, you were like, yeah, shit's really happening quick, but it's like, not really, because the grind happens like a while.
Yeah, but it's just now, I got the feeling like as soon as it hit, it started hitting and everything just, it wasn't gradual no more. Like everything just started moving fast, you feel me?
How long was it gradual?
I've been spitting, bro, since, first of all, I started rapping like 96 when I first left Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I moved to Jersey
Yeah.
with my pops and shit for the time being. I started rapping and then I took it more seriously around, 16, 17. And then that was a fucking grind because I had to go to showcases back in New York, Jersey, and it finally started paying off. Like I'm 36 right now. So I'm gonna say like 2 years. Once I dropped the Iron Mike shit, that was it. Like it just started, everything went fast for me. So that's why now it feels like everything is just going fast. I'm going from Chelsea Music Hall. Well, this year more particularly because I'm going from Chelsea Music Hall, the Crate Diggers that we in right now, to next week. So in August, Supply and Demand 3. So it's moving, bro.
But you said you're 36 now, and you were saying like 16 going to showcases and shit.
Exactly, bro.
That's 20 years to be like an overnight six.
Exactly. It's not easy. Like it was times when I was like, man, this shit is not gonna happen for me. The music started switching up. It wasn't the same. By the time that I really started getting my feet wet, the music switched up. There was the Lil Johns and the ATL Stompers and shit like that. So I was like, damn, bro, like my chances to do it is getting limited. But then out of nowhere, the Rock Marcianos, the Marshbergs dropped, and then the West Side Guns, the Sky Zoos, like you started seeing them more. And then I was like, yo, we still got time in this shit. So I kept my mic and my pen going in.
Were you really close to giving up, or did you know that you were gonna keep going?
I was gonna be in a situation where I was gonna still, rap and do my shit on the side, but I wasn't really chasing rap like that. Like my whole thing was, at that time, I wanted to be a knucklehead and do all the knuckleheaded shit, and I was getting money, so I was like, man, this rap shit ain't working. But then, like I said, like Rock was the real motivation. He had a record on the Mossberg album called Raw Deal. And that shit right there was like, yo, niggas still rapping like this? Like, this is crazy. So it just built that motivation up back for me. And the rest is history. We here now. You feel me?
Yeah. So
rocking on Sam Buck's show. I know people gonna like, oh, you did the Sam Buck show? Yeah, nigga, I did the Sam Buck show.
Bro, that's crazy as hell for me to hear too. Like, it's when you're in the eye of the storm. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess it's different. Like, do you feel like you're in the eye of the storm, or do you get to enjoy your successes?
That's a good question. I'm kind of enjoying it right now because at this moment, like I'm starting to get the notoriety, and people are looking like, yo, he's a force to watch out for. So it's kind of one and the same, like, the eye of the storm. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like for me, I don't know how to explain this. I like I won't mind the fame, but I'm so laid back that, if I can find a way to feed my family without being all in the spotlight, that would be cool. But at the same time, it comes with it. So I'm accepting of it. So I guess it's one and the same. I don't know. It's like,
you'd like to be behind the scenes?
Yeah, like if for me,
you know who Lil Bibby is?
Yeah.
Then he
was rapping first, and then he went and became
Didn't he find Juice WRLD or some shit?
Like, and then just having a talented
not that that's even the same, like. Yeah, but then he just stepped back.
Exactly, fell back because just the bullshit that was going on and the bullshit that you got to deal with. It's a lot of bullshit. If y'all listening, it'd be a lot of bullshit behind the scenes. You feel me? Like, I didn't even make real money yet, but cats see me on Sam Buck's show. They see me performing and they thinking that, I'm doing something big, or I got way more money than I actually do. And then you got, you deal with disloyalty and things of that nature that I didn't really deal with before the rap shit really, took off.
That is real shit though, because they think like, I don't know, like every dollar I get goes back into like
shit,
trying to be the next.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
It's like when you start a business, what do they say? You're not going to make money off of it for the first time, but like you still have to keep just having blind faith.
Mm-hmm. Like the one thing that...
What was the intro to your set today about Josiah? The name
that's
it was about
the pen is the power joint.
From God. In the Bible, Josiah means...
Yeah, that's Josiah's a king in the Bible. He was one of the actually righteous kings, as I've heard. Shout out to Jamil Honesty. I'm not sure if you are too familiar with him. I already knew kind of what my name meant, but he really broke it down to me one day and was like, yeah, Josiah is a king that treated the people right and was worshipped by them because at any time he could, he treated people right. So it kind of, I was like, damn, my mom is like she had an epiphany or something and just gave me the right name. You feel me?
Yeah. Because I add, the reason I say that to interject into the conversation is because to keep going 20 years, whatever it is, you have to have like a blind faith that it's going to work out. Mm-hmm. And that's
Definitely.
like, no matter what religious, spiritual, like it doesn't, you can strip that away from it, but it is like you have to have a blind faith that what you're doing is paying off.
I definitely had it because I've had people like, yo, there was when I first started, right? I had a whole audience of people like, you gonna make it. And then as the years went on and it wasn't there yet, you see that audience starts to, decrease. So I had to believe in me more than anybody else. Like, and at that point I was like, yo, I gotta keep, after I had that, that little thought that I was gonna fall back and the Rock Marcy situation happened, I was like, yo, I just gotta keep going, bro. Eventually they gonna hear me because anybody that hear me be like, yo, you nice.
Why don't you think you made it back then?
Maybe I wasn't grinding as hard as I was supposed to be grinding. Maybe the culture was just shifting into a new arena of, as far as, it went from the boom bap to the crunk. So maybe, that played a part. I'm not sure, but I'm going to say maybe I didn't grind because there was a couple opportunities that I had that I didn't really take really seriously that could have definitely catapulted my career. But maybe that's what it was. You feel me?
Are there anything you can talk about? Like,
oh man, well, there was one time. Let me get a little swig of my water real quick.
Yo, this beer tastes like an oatmeal raisin cookie. It's weird as hell.
But like I was saying, there was one time I rocked the showcase, right? And listen, for the fans, when y'all see Sky Zoo, you can ask him, like, this is not made up. I'm sure if he sees this, he's gonna be like, oh shit, you still remember that. But I rocked the showcase, man. Like, I tore that shit to shreds. Sky got on the stage and he was like, yo, shout out to and mind you, everybody that was in that spot was, doing the Shorty Low impressions and the Young Jeezy impressions. And I came on some hip hop shit like.
Open up for Sky Zoo?
No, I wasn't opening. He was just at a showcase.
Oh, he was part of the showcase.
Nah, he wasn't. He wasn't actually like, he was already known. I think he had the album was called, the mixtape was called Cloud 9. Pardon me if I fucked it up, but he had that joint out. So he was kind of known in the city. Mm-hmm. So he was like one of the, I guess they had showcase performances and then main performances. I think it was him, Mike Geronimo, and a couple other cats in there. But he got on stage. He's like, yo, I just want to say shout out to the real hip hop. And he's like, shout out to, at that time I was going by the name Joe Black. So he's like, shout out to Joe Black, like pointing me out in the crowd. I'm like, oh shit, like this is fucking crazy. But long story short, there was A&Rs for a certain label. I'm not gonna say no names, but their last word is boy in their label name. All right, you run around with that and you figure it out. But they was out there and I had won the showcase. And they was like, yeah, bro, you kind of nice. They even caught what I was doing. So they was like, yo, we got the grand prize winner wins, yada, 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 won. And then the next week, a situation happened with my mans. He got into some shit and got wounded out here. And I skipped it. And my cousin was like, yo, my cousin that was actually here today, he was like, yo, man, you'll see him after, bro. Don't even worry about it. Like, just go and do this. But I was like, nah. Maybe I had some kind of fear too. I don't know. But I was like, nah, I ain't doing all that. I'm not trying to be signed to them dudes. Like, feeling myself. You feel me? So, yeah.
Do you regret that shit or?
Not really. Not really, because everything happens for a reason. Like, if it was meant for me to be up in there, I would have made it, but God, it was just not my calling. This is what I was meant to do. Like, I did it my way, like, cause I started thinking about in my head, like, damn, if I sign over here, will I have to wear this? Will I have to make this type of music? And it was just something that I was real firm on. Like, nah, I'm not trying to be on the fucking stage, fucking shaking and doing all kinds of crazy dances and shit. Like, that's just not me. So everything happens for a reason. I'm happy for what's going on right now to come in these spots like Crate Diggers and tear shit up, gradually. Well, not really gradually, but, just get my feet wet and people just around the small crowd just in here feeling me. I can look around the room and gauge the expressions and know I'm doing my thing, you feel me? So.
But you still talk with about such love. Like, it's not like you lost like a passion for it. That's cool to see after all.
Yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna ever lose the passion for the simple fact, like, I've always been a writer. You feel me? Like, when I was going to school in PS 92 in Brooklyn, I remember I did an essay, and I was just, mind you, I wasn't even writing nothing crazy. I was just like doodling and shit. Like, I thought I was, but the teacher got up in the front of the class, and she was like, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe what I read. Like, this is on a high school level." Then I go to high school, and the teacher's telling me my writing's on a college level. So regardless, I was gonna always have a passion for writing. I just, brought it to the mic and did my thing. First instrumental I spit to was Black Girl Lost by Nas on It Was Written. And after that, I never looked back. You feel me?
Because you were saying maybe you didn't get it because you weren't like grinding hard enough, whatever, but like, when did you make the decision that you were just gonna like go all in the Rock Marcy shit, but really like, because you were saying it's kind of happening quick now. I guess was it with Umbrella or was it like?
Nah, it was before Umbrella.
What you said, it was when Iron Mike.
Around that time, I'll say this: like, I had put an EP out called the Jack Johnson EP, and it got like a little, lukewarm reception. But there was one particular record on there that everybody was feeling. So I was like, damn, maybe I should start, continue doing this. Then I dropped another EP, and that got a more reception. Then you got the dudes, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Packer. Like, he's the one on YouTube that posts all the underground shit. You put your shit on, you on Packer, you done made it in the underground, you feel me? But he posted, I didn't even ask him, didn't hit him. And all of a sudden I'm on YouTube one day, and I'm like, I type my name. Of course, you got to search your name to see what's going on. I'm like, oh shit, Packer picked my shit up. So then that's when I was like, all right, I got to really go now. And then Iron Mike was crazy because I was actually working on a completely different project before I started Iron Mike. And then things stalled with that project. And me and my engineer one day, shout out to my man Scott, we was in the studio, and he was like, yo, you can't just sit and wait for your man to do what he's doing. You're going to have to, do something in the time being. I was like, all right, I got a couple, bars written. I got some beats. Let's start working on this project. I wasn't expecting it to do what it's doing now, like to put me out there. So once that happened, I was like, all right.
What do you think's different about it now, looking back at like?
As far as the Iron Mike?
Yeah.
What's different about it?
Like, why do you think that, like, looking back, because you said you didn't create it thinking it was going to be anything special. Have you thought about why it's special now going back?
Going back to it, just listening to the shit I was saying, like, lyrically, I think it's one of them projects that the lyrics and the beat, everything, or the instrumental, everything just lines up perfectly.
But why at that moment of time in your life was that created?
Because I was just sitting around. Like, I'm not even trying to sound like, oh, I just do this with my eyes closed and no shit like that. But it was just, it just felt right when I was doing it.
Divine intervention.
Exactly.
Shit.
Like, it just started feeling right. Like, then the crazy shit, once we was done with the project, now it was time to, implement the skits in there. So I got a bunch of, I was watching Mike Tyson documentaries that I already watched before, but I was like, let me, pick certain parts. And then as we're putting the pieces together, certain shit starts happening in the instrumentals. Like, one point, there's a song on there called Obese. My engineer, we had the tracked out version of it. So my engineer took the drums off, and there's this part that it goes like, ding, like it sounds like fear. Like it's Mike Tyson. Like you could picture Mike Tyson standing there just looking at you and hearing that sound and it just being some crazy shit like, oh shit. And everything just started flowing cohesively. And I knew, even though I was like, damn, I kind of rushed this, but I knew for a fact, I was like, yo, this gonna do some shit right here. Like,
you kind of rushed it, too.
Yeah, that's what I was like, yo, I swear.
Do you think with your other shit, you were holding on to it too long?
Yeah,
Do you think
definitely that too, because you start, what's the word I'm looking for? You start doubting yourself, like, yo.
Yeah, because this podcast started getting big when I stopped preparing questions. Weird shit when I just was like freeballing it.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's when shit happens,
it's
bro.
the natural, like you're not trying too hard. It's just coming out how it's supposed to be.
Exactly. And it just flowed organically, bro. And I got so much music that I'm just sitting on still to this day. Now that I'm more established in the underground game, I might put it out. Like I was thinking about putting a project together called a recap and like sprinkling the new joints in there, just to get people acquainted.
Like all your old shit.
Like doing like, the iron, for the ones that don't know, do the Iron Mics and the Remain Raws and everything that I've dropped, and then just sprinkle the unreleased records. That shit would have been crazy. I'm thinking about it now, like the unreleased joints, that if I drop it as a project, niggas might like it more than Iron Mic, because some of them records was just astonishing, bro. But like I said, I started
like a greatest hits type shit.
And I started doubting myself, man, and I just put it in the back burner. And then started working with another producer. Then I started working on Iron Mic. And then the other day I was on, because at this time, this was when the app Slack was brand new. So my man Sassoon, he's like, yo, every record that you got, put it on Slack. I'm like, what the fuck is a Slack, bro? Like, I don't know about no Slack. I emailed it to you. He's like, no, I'm telling you, you can make folders and put everything in there. So I was going through that Slack, all the joints that I sent, and I'm like, yo, this shit right here is explosive, bro. Like, at some moment I have to put it out. I just don't know when. Because I feel as though now I'm more advanced than I was at that time. Even though everybody be like, nah, you bugging. But I got the desire, but I don't. Because I was like, it's so much more fire I can give y'all. Like, why go back to that? You feel me? So
yeah. What about Tyson? I want to talk about that shit, but I don't want to get too far away from it about hearing that. What about Tyson?
What about Tyson that
for
made
that
me want
project?
to after I was done with the project, it wasn't even named Iron Mic yet when I was done with it. So I was high as hell one night. It's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I gonna name this shit? I was like, this shit right here is so hard, I don't know what the name is. So as I open Instagram, the moment I open Instagram, there's a artist that works with Umbrella. He's a part of Umbrella. His name is Phyclopsis. Shout out to Fick. But as soon as I opened it, the cover was there. Like this actual cover that you see right here was his paint. I was like, oh shit. So I hit him up. I seen that he had dropped it like 5 minutes before I seen this. So I was like, yo, Fick, take that shit down, bro. Like, I need it. He was like, what you need it for? And I was like, yo, I'm about to name this album Iron Mic, bro. It makes perfect sense. My mic hits hard. It's iron. Nobody can break this shit. And I'm this is it. Like, this is what God was calling me to do.
Again, the divine, it's just
real.
Yeah.
For real. I felt like Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta, bro, and the bullets would hit him, and he looked back, he's like, oh shit, not one bullet hit me, you feel me?
I might get too high and think about this shit too much, because people are like, all right, you're thinking too heavy about that shit. But I really, hearing your story, and I want people listening to really think about this shit, about how the project that to you changed your life in music was one that to you came out rushed. The whole concept behind it came like just from like that. It was because you were just going with your gut.
Exactly.
Kinda.
And doing what I love without any restrictions.
You weren't trying too hard.
Like just throwing them out, like this joint is tough, this joint. And one taking certain records, but I was like, all right, it's cool. Like, let's just put it out. And then boom.
Isn't that, but like, I really want people to think about that who are listening.
You don't have to give it, I mean, of course you want to put your passion and your dedication in there, but don't do it thinking about it like, yo, I need to get on this. Niggas be hitting me up in my DM like, yo, how you got on this? How you got on that? And I always got to explain to them like, yo, all I did was make music and it caught on. Like Copenhagen, I remember when I did the Iron Mic and everybody was feeling it, Even though Copenhagen, I hit him up before that, prior to that, for my last EP. And he was like, yo, we kind of booked right now, so we can't really do nothing with you. And then he hit me once he heard, yo, I heard the Iron Bike shit, yo. Like, let's set up a deal. You feel me? And it was because I wasn't trying. Like, I can't say I wasn't trying, but I was.
You weren't trying, but you had 20 years of experience under your belt. Like, that's what other people need to hear.
This shit don't happen overnight, bro. Even when you having the doubts and, you know, and shit like that, and then you come back, you got to come back. If it keeps calling you, like if you moving and you just keep hearing rap, bro, don't stop. Like, keep going, bro. Like, you just got to keep going, but don't be trying to chase no bullshit. Like, don't try to chase, no disrespect to Packer and them, but don't try to chase getting on Packer. Don't try to chase a Copenhagen deal. A fuck rap deal.
It'll come naturally.
Like, bro. Just perfect your craft. Do what you do out of love, and you'll be straight, bro.
Because that's, if you either stop or you make it. Mm-hmm. There's literally only two options.
And if you stop, and then what always happens is you stop, and then maybe somebody you start rapping with a fucking blow up. That, you don't want that shit to happen. That's the type of regret I couldn't live with.
Or you come back, and this is for anything. You come back thinking that the people who didn't stop,
that's what I'm saying.
It's like you have to start at ground zero if you stop. Scratch. It's the consistency.
Exactly. Like, you just got to keep going, bro. Like I said, you don't want to live with that regret, knowing that you stopped, and you're gonna wait. Trust me, you're gonna wake up one day and be like, "What would happen if I continued rapping, bro?" And you're always gonna have that doubt in your head. I was close to that, but.
I got mad emotional the other day. I'll tell this story just because it plays into what we're talking about. I was driving back from Detroit. And Conway Reject 2 came on. Beloved. And that was the first Griselda song I ever heard in 2015. And I remember hearing that shit literally and pulling over on the side of the street. And then I'm driving back from just hanging with Benny. I'm on a Conway track now, and I literally started to cry. Like, I was like, damn, if I never did this shit, like, I didn't even know what I was doing then, but I knew that shit was going to mean something to me if I just kept pushing towards what it was.
Real talk. And look, like, you actually was on a Conway record? Like,
yeah, I have an official feature on Earthlings with Jay Skis and me on that
that's
Conway
crazy. Yo,
song.
shout out to Jay Skis, too, because Jay Skis, I was so shocked when that happened, because he heard Mightier Than The Sword, and he hit me on Twitter, and I thought it was like some fucking, I was like, this nigga trying to hack my shit, bro. If I click the link and, you know, this will happen for you, we'll give you $10,000. So I wasn't really paying attention, but then I seen it again. I was like, oh, that's really Jay Skis. So he hit me and he just told me like, yo, that's a good project that you put together. And mind you, I think it was right around the time he was dropping the Big Ghost joint.
Great project.
Yo, and I was like, I'm gonna go check it. Mind you, I seen the cover and shit with I was intrigued by the cover already. But you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, as an underground artist, as far as I'm concerned, you gotta really do something to catch my attention. Like, cause I'm so focused on, you know, perfecting my own pen that you gotta do something to catch my in order for me to be like, all right, let me listen to this. So I checked his shit out. I'm like, yo, he is fucking tearing this shit up.
If you're talking about pen, like that's why I like you. It's like he just writes some crazy shit.
And mind you, he had they had a freestyle. I want to say LA Leakers, but I'm not sure it was him and Conway.
Yeah, LA Leakers, they had one.
Yeah, Conway let him spit first, and that nigga was just going off. I'm like, oh shit. This nigga right here is serious. Conway is getting a nice little arsenal going on. I think he got another shorty named Seven.
Love the Genius.
Love the Genius,
but it has a 7 in it. She was just on the pod. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's dope, yo. I like her. I like what she's doing. Her flow is different. It reminds me also, it's like MC Lightish for me, yo.
Yeah,
and
she's just dancing on the beat.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just, there's a joint that she had when
but
she
you
was
do that. That's why I love Obese.
Yeah, appreciate it. It just comes to me. People be like, yo, what makes you write some of the shit you do? And I'm like, yo, I do what the beat tells me. Like, a lot of people go approach records where they're like, what I gotta say. But sometimes if you'll know when the beat is right, because the beat will just start talking to you before you start talking to the beat. And you'll be like, yo, it'll just start flowing. True Cypher, a producer that I'm working with right now, he just sent me a whole shit of beats. And there's one that as soon as I heard it, like, the shit just started flowing. I knew what to say. I had a hook ready and everything. And that's just how it be.
Where do you
bro.
think that comes from?
I guess repetition, like, you know, consistently doing it, and just having a good ear. Like, I pick good beats, I think, you know, and I've always had the ear for, you know, a beat that I'm feeling like, yo, this one, you know, shake shit up when you hear it, you feel me? So it's just from having a good ear. Like, that's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah.
I think I got the good ear. Like, if I don't rap, I can A&R, bro, and I can bring a motherfucker some hits, you feel me? Like, oh, that's it right there. You need to hop on that right there.
Do you, saying that, and this goes back to what we were talking about, really, do you really, like, when you see your future, do you see yourself in, like, being a rapper, or do you see yourself behind the scenes?
Another good question. See, Buck, you on your shit, man. But
they wonder why I get
I get
listeners. But
there's certain interviewers that you just it just becomes a conversation. It ain't like it's forced. You feel me? So shout out to you. What was the question again? Because you just caught me off guard with that one.
Do you really see yourself like being a rapper in the spotlight, or do you see yourself behind the scenes?
I mean, I see myself being a rapper for a good maybe 3-4 more years, but about the 5th year, like, yo, first of all, you know, I'm getting old, and I know everybody gonna be like, oh, age ain't got nothing to do with it, but I'm about to have my first seed, bro. Like, I got so much to deal with, and at some point I want to, you know, make a dream for somebody else that's nice, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what happens. Like, there's so many dope MCs out there right now that we've never heard of. But, you know, and some people hear of them, but they don't want to give them an advantage. So if I can catch somebody that's really fucking dope, and I can be like, yo, I can help you, bro. Like, they might just be nice as far as rapping verses, but I'll be like, yo, I'll teach you the ropes. I have no problem, you know, giving niggas the knowledge, bro. Some people, you know, they get their shit and they want to, you know, fall back. But I want to be able to establish a label. Honestly, I want to ghostwrite, you know. I heard the other day,
Hey guys. This episode is sponsored by The Basement, a Brooklyn music studio that specializes in industry-quality engineering, mastering, and mixing. Some notable names that have worked there are Buck Wild, Joey Badass, Flea Lord, Rome Streets. It is a private, smoke-friendly studio that has top-notch staff and equipment. Make sure to check them out at the_basement_BK. They're an amazing studio that everyone should check out. They get the bucked up stamp of approval. You can follow them on Instagram at the_basement_BK. Let's get back into it. For one hit. Mm-hmm. So what is, and this is going to sound whatever. I love every artist that's under the umbrella. I love, but I don't. What is it? Like, how did it start? What is your like?
Yo, it started for me a little bit after Iron Mike. The producer that I was working on a project with, out of nowhere, he hit me and was like, "Yo, I got some dope artists that's they're nice, bro. Like, you need to listen to them. They thinking about starting a
Who
collective."
Started it?
Pro and Snotty started it. I guess they came up with the name before I got there. So, and at that time, I was like, yo, bro, I'm not trying to join no group, because I know how groups be, bro. Like, you know, everything will be good for a little while, but eventually, you know, egos play a role, and, you know, people might not, you know, stay grounded, or people might just drift and, you know, do something different. But I heard them spitting. The first person I heard spitting was Pro. And he was sitting in his crib, and I was like, yo, he nice. Then I heard Snotty, and then I heard Mick, and I was like, yo, this shit can be a movement, because it's not like one person is better than the other person. Like, everybody over here nice. So they'll definitely help me to inspire my pen to keep, or motivate my pen to keep going. So yeah, I was like, fuck it, I'm rocking with them, bro. And the rest is history, as, you know, we here now.
Yeah, because when Jay Royale was one of my first guests, like rap guests on the podcast, and that was before he was even a part of it. So when I saw that, it was like, oh, I love everything that's going on, especially people being from all over, but I didn't like understand what it was in the beginning.
Yeah, yup. A lot of people, I mean, people just was enjoying the music, and then the curiosity began, where like people was like, what is Umbrella? Like, y'all label? Y'all a group? Like, and it's not even necessarily like we're a group. We all are individual MCs, but we just brought our
But you all fuck with each other.
Exactly.
Which
Like
is,
that's just how it was. Like Pro heard me. Pro was like, you nice. Mickey heard me. Mickey was like, you nice. Snotty. A couple of them already knew about me due to Iron Mike, but everything just worked itself. Excuse me. Everything just worked itself out, man. And we pushed each other's pen to the limits these days. Pro just hit me the other day talking shit in the DM like, yo, you know we about to kill shit, right? You better be ready. And I'm like, I'm ready. I'm always ready. You feel me? So
yeah.
Yep.
But I think that's what you kind of need. Like, that's what I like about music is I think now it's about finding as much music as possible, not like holding on to a small amount of music. So when I find a group, I'm like, oh shit, I get to listen to this. I get to listen to this. I get to go
Listen to
back
that.
and listen to that.
But
And
let me ask you something. Does when you listen to so much, does your what's the word I'm looking? Your attention span for the project that you was listening to, does it continue to stay there, or are you on to the next project?
I'm on to the next project unless shit is like really special to me.
Yep.
Like fucking with Iron Mike, I love that album, but the second half of that album,
It gets
like
you.
that's,
Like,
and I don't even, and I love the whole thing. I don't want, but that
No, I get
second
it.
half, I would just play over and over again, and I don't know why, but that connected to me.
That's what's up.
And
man.
it's like that's kind of how I feel about music. Is maybe there's more of it, but if something's really special, I'll connect to it because.
Real shit.
But I'm
'cause-
also not. I'm horrible at remembering lyrics now. Before I
Yeah,
could
me
remember
too.
lyrics, but now I can't.
even my own lyrics, I'm like, fuck. I gotta listen to records over and over and over again. It's the weed, bro. The weed.
It is the weed.
Yeah, we try
but
to
I
say
can
it
remember.
now,
but I
it's
can
the weed.
remember my stand-up. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I do have just like emotional connections to certain projects. Like, all right, let me ask you a question. I mean, that's what I'm supposed. But like, do you, now that you've been in music so long, do you get emotional attachments to albums, even
Of
though you've
course.
been doing it for so long?
Of course. I don't want to say, maybe it's kind of emotionally attached, but I'm more so, I pay attention and I'm gauging
I
the
hope
music.
you know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah, I
I'm
know
not
what you're
saying
saying. I know
it,
exactly
like-
what you're saying. But for me, especially my competitive side, of course I listen to it from the perspective of a fan and it attaches with me. But my competitive nature, like, yo, this right here is shifting the culture, so I got to do something to push it even more further. I got to better this one. That's my mindset for the most part these days. But yeah, there's albums that definitely connected with me on an emotional level. Like even when I'm going through certain shit, I throw it on to make me feel good. You feel me? So
Are you a fan of anything as much as you're a fan of music?
no, nah, no. The closest thing to that is probably like watching basketball and boxing. Like those is the things that, you know, I always pay attention to, but nothing beats music. Like I wake up in the morning and before I sleep, a producer sent me a record, I'm like, yo, I know in the morning, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm good, bro, I'm good. But that's the first thing I'm doing. So, yeah, that music is all, bro. I'm writing music when I'm at work. I'm writing it when I got an instrumental on as I'm smoking on my way home, like, and spitting, freestyling, you know. I'm checking what's the new music, the new shit out there. Like, it's just everything for me, yo. As far as me just living life, music is a real big part of my shit. You can hear it when I spit, man.
You can definitely hear it when you spit. The reason I ask is because, like, in the boxing and basketball, I get it. Like, I love rap. I love music. Like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do this and do it without that. But I'm a comedian, and I love comedy that much. So it's like a weird balance in my brain. And it's kind of hard. Like, I have to, like, focus on what I'm going to put my time into.
Real
So
shit.
I wonder, you know, if other people have that kind of...
I mean,
But if you're fully focused on one thing, that's great, because then you don't have to, like, have an argument in your mind.
nah, yeah, it's just, for me, it's just music, bro. Like,
Are you do you like your own shit?
yeah, of course. I'm my biggest critic, so I'm always going back and listening to my shit and critiquing it. And even like today, like, even when I'm spitting, like when I fucking catch myself stumbling on a word, I'm like, damn, I gotta fix that shit, bro. Like, I can't be doing that. supply and demand 3 about to come up, so I can't be up there stumbling. And it's small, minute shit, but I'm just that hard on myself. You feel me? So
you have to be. I have this weird thing in my head where, and I've talked about it on the podcast, but it's like, you said your harshest critic. I'm that, and I feel like if I wasn't, I would never be happy with it. And that's the funny thing about us going back to the earlier part of the conversation about just putting shit out, because that's the fine line you have to have.
Exactly.
Is like you have to be, can't like your stuff enough to keep wanting to outdo yourself, but you have to like it enough that you're just gonna put it out without like holding on to it too long.
I was just got out that habit of finally saying to myself like, yo, just put it out, like, you know. And sometimes you might stumble when you put it out. Like my project after Iron Mike, I'm not gonna say I stumbled, but my project after Iron Mike, it didn't get the reception that I thought it was gonna get. You feel me? But at the same time, I'm like, fuck that, bro. I'm gonna keep. It ain't catch. Maybe they didn't. I was looking at it like maybe it didn't make its way to as many people as it was supposed to, because now people hear it and they come back and be like, yo, that shit was mean. You feel me? But my mind is like, nah, I didn't get the reception that I thought it was gonna get.
Why do you think that is?
Just competing with myself, yo. Like, just trying to outdo myself. Like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, why do you think it didn't get the reception that you wanted it to get?
I don't know. Like, maybe it just didn't make it to a lot of people. Maybe people wasn't feeling it. It can happen because you got people that was feeling it. You got people that probably was like, it was all right. You feel me? It's possible. I don't know. I'm not out there.
Do you get shit online? Like, do you look at that shit? Like, all right, that's a bad question. Let me rephrase that. If you get a negative comment, does it affect you? Nah.
I look at it. Sometimes you'll see them. I'm look at it. It is what
Trust
it is.
me, I get a good amount of them.
Yeah, like I don't. If it happens, it is what it is. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to, DM somebody and be like, "Yo, what you say?" I'm
what
never
they
gonna
want.
see you. Like,
that's what they want.
I know that, and that's why I'm not gonna fall, because that's exactly what they want. They want to be like, "Oh shit, he responded." I catch that shit. Like, I see what's going on. Like, would you say the same shit to me if we were, face to face? You'll be more nice of like, yeah, your music was okay. I liked it. You won't just come out and be like, yo, this shit was trash, bro. The fuck out of it. You ain't doing all that. It could be confrontational if you do all that, so you know better than that. But I don't let it get to me, Like, I just, okay.
Because you're your harshest critic. Like, what do they get?
Okay,
yeah.
if that's how you feel, cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes motherfuckers just be saying shit just to get a reaction, bro. It's life.
This is... Are you spiritual? Are you religious? Because
spiritual in a sense, but I'm not.
You ever fuck with hallucinogens or anything?
Nah, I haven't taken it to that level yet. Which ones are you speaking on?
Any of them. I have like PTSD because I was talking about DMT with Heem from BSF, and he got so weirded out that he left the podcast early. We're good now. You can watch the clip online.
Yeah, I've heard Mike Tyson, as a matter of fact, talking about it.
That's literally why I wanted to ask, because you have the Iron Mike thing. I
heard him talk about it, and I'm like, yo, it sounds.
That's what made me start the podcast. Was a DMT trip.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? So you just had a trip, and the fucking.
I was in a really dark place, and then I did it with like a shaman. Oh. And when I came out of it, I was like, I know what I need to do. And the next week, I started the podcast.
So it pretty much gave you some clarity.
Yeah. I thought, if you don't want to get weird with it, like you don't want to get spiritual, religious, it's like you deal with a near-death experience. It's like a hallucinogen that gives you a near-death experience where you see the light, and then you come back and you're like, all right, I'm going to deal with my shit now.
And that's the shit that, like, when Tyson was explaining, it was like, damn, bro, it didn't sound too pleasing, but...
It's not, like, fun. Like, that's why you can't, like...
You gotta
abuse
be in
it. Yeah, like you have to like do it in like a spiritual way.
Like sit in a fucking circle.
Yeah, like you have shit. Like I had some guy giving like positive chants and shit while I do it. Yeah,
calm you down and shit. Yeah, it sounds like an experience.
But I don't know. It is weird. Like I get that it's weird, but I was just wondering.
Because
you heard Tyson talk about it, of course.
Yeah, I've heard it and it sounded trippy, but a couple of my boys be like, yo, you want to try shrooms and shit like that? But I like my L's, bro. Like, but if you catch me in the right,
last supply and demand, they had mushroom tea given out to everybody.
Really?
Like, yeah,
that's crazy. Maybe I'll try it in that sitting.
That's gonna be. I'm so excited for that.
Real shit. It's a pleasure them having me on there and having the crew on there, man. And trust me, we coming to tear shit up. I'm gonna have some music before that too. So, pardon me, I'm a little hoarse, but yeah, I'm gonna have a little music before that too, a new little project. So we coming to fuck shit up. I was just talking to Royale about that shit in the back. He was like, bro, we gotta fuck that shit up. That shit is like the Super Bowl of the underground. So yeah.
Was that in New York? What was it, last week, 2 weeks ago?
Oh, the Chelsea Music Hall.
Was that your first show altogether?
Nah, not altogether as far as in life, but as far as the year, that was my first show. And that got cut short. Like, my set got cut short. I only got to do like 2 records. And then they shut the venue down because they had a bunch of other opening acts. Shout out to Bub Styles, yo. He did his thing. Shout out to John Creasy. He did his thing.
Bub Styles has been on the podcast. He's crazy.
Yeah,
He's
he
dope
did his
as
thing.
hell.
Like, they performed in a way that I'm like, yo, even what's the dude named Dusty Reynolds? They just had their whole shit down packed the way they were supposed to do their shit, and they tore it down. So shout out to them too.
That's cool, you saying that, like Sky Zoo saying the shit about you. Mm-hmm. There's this comedian, Brian Glowacki, who, shout out him. He's dope. I've done a lot of shows with him recently. He's given me a lot of good looks. But he gave this thing where he's like, you don't have to pull someone up with you, but just like send the elevator down. That's exactly what he said.
And I understand that fully, bro. Like, yeah.
Like, you don't need to help me out, but like, just give me if I'm ready for the situation, just give me a little nod or a little.
It's nothing
like,
to show love. Like, I'm secure with myself, so I know what I'm doing. You feel me? And I don't have no problem showing somebody love, especially if I really dig something that you're doing. Like,
yeah. And that's what it's all about, because it's all about energy. Like, you can tell when someone's trying too hard or when someone's not about it. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. Like, again, it goes back to the just being natural, because when you go in situations like, man, am I even going to talk about this right now? All right, I'm not going to say names. There was someone at this event who was trying to promote a platform, and he was as he's walking in, he's telling people, like, do this so I can look cool in this video. It's like, you're trying to come in and be like, and then as he's leaving, he's about to say, oh, I'll hit you up. But he goes, so I'll be hearing from you. And it's like, no, you won't, motherfucker. Like, be cool. Like, just be, like, he literally stopped himself to say a more dickhead thing.
Yeah,
like,
I feel you. Yeah, some people, they feel as they got to do, a lot when you don't got to do anything, bro. Just be yourself. Chill out. Relax.
What do you think? All right, let's get more positive. I don't mean to talk shit about people. That was my fault. But, like, what do you think it is about, like, groups like the Umbrella, like, popping out, or like, these groups where do you think it is that so much music that people can find? Is it that people are pushing each other to be better?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's how the love is received out there. I'm not sure. I mean, in certain instances, you get people that, got a name and they'll reach out and fuck with you. But I couldn't tell you, bro. Like, the ones that fuck with me, they fuck with me. What anybody else is doing, they don't want to show love. It is what it is. You feel me? Like, yeah. I'm gonna always show love. If I fuck with your shit, I'm gonna fuck with you. Fuck with your shit. If I don't, you're not gonna hear a word from me, I guess.
Why did you say yes? You said that you just fucked with the music, but you were saying that you didn't want to be part of a group.
Repeat that?
Why did you say yes to being part of the Umbrella when you didn't want to be part of a group, other than you just liked their music?
I don't understand the question necessarily.
Damn, I might be too stoned, but I mean...
Yeah, that's the thing, too. My shit going like this, but yeah.
No, I mean, you said you didn't want to be part of a group. Mm-hmm. But the Umbrella was a good choice for you. Mm-hmm. Why was that a good choice?
Oh, that's a good way. Because it was just MCs that I respected they pen, and who they were as people. I chopped it up with Pro, chopped it up with Snotty, and chopped it up with Creasy. Chopped it up with everybody, and we was just on the same time. We all trying to, reach to levels that we've never attained, and it'll work better if we did it as a collective, bro, and just had that respect for each other, and we kept it pushing. Like, I never wanted to do the group thing at all, but just the way that they, you know, showed me love, it felt like me getting love from my homies. So I was like, I gotta fuck with these dudes. And like I said before, we all pushed each other's pen to the limit. So it all worked out, bro.
And it does. Do you? I am fucking stoned. This shit's fire. Do you?
What kind of butt is that?
This is Mandarin cookies. This is from Maine. I brought
that
this
one
shit
up.
from. Yeah, nah, this shit's crazy. Do you guys have a plan?
Yeah, we the idea right now is next year for us to finally all come together and put a project together. You feel me? Like, you know, put all our side projects, all our own individual projects to the side and get down in that studio with the producers that's a part of the label. Maybe a couple producers that's not a part of I said the label, the crew. I meant to say the crew. Get with some producers that's not necessarily a part of the crew, but they show the crew so much love. And we just put some shit together, bro. Like, let everybody hear us as a collective. They respect our pens individually. Let them see that we can all put a cohesive project together and tear shit up.
You said you have another project coming before Supply and Demand.
Yup. I got a project with my man True Cypher. Shout out to him. I'm thinking about making it like 8 to 10 records. I'm not gonna give the name yet, you know, but the concept is off a manga comic. I don't know if you ever heard of The Professional, but he was like an assassin that was paid to just do hits. So I'm approaching it where I'm the assassin and True Cypher is the person that's putting the hits out there, and the hits is the actual music, the actual instrumental.
Oh,
and I'm killing the shits. You feel me? Y'all gotta think like that. Change y'all way of thinking up. Do something different. But
are you a big manga fan?
I watch anime.
I've just been getting into anime.
Yeah,
honestly,
really. I'm more the old school anime, like the ones where, because I used to draw a lot when I was younger. Also, you know, sometimes I'll try to pick up my pen or pick up my pencil and sketch some shit. But
really, I'd love to see some of your artwork.
Yeah, I got you. I'll send you some, man. We take my number before we leave, and I got you. But yeah, I did some. I got some pieces, and I used to always just like the detailing of the anime shit, and I fell in love with that first.
See, all right, so you like art too. When I asked you if you had any other passions, if you've been drawing since you were a kid,
yeah, but
you're basing your album off of manga that deep into it, I'm not gonna call you out, but I'm a little bit calling you out.
But I guess I'm not somebody that I don't draw as much as I used to. Like, it wasn't something I was like.
But you appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Like, I
don't rap, but I appreciate it.
I feel you, but like, yeah, like pretty much that's what it was.
It would be corny as fuck if I just started rapping. Like, if I tried to drop a project, bro.
Let me get spit some bars.
That would be corny as hell.
Have you ever tried to rap before?
Like with friends, like, but never
Drinking,
seriously.
yeah,
like when I was in high school, like I had two friends who really wanted to rap. And it sucks because I tell them to do it and I can help them, but now they're too past, like, you know what I mean? It's like I have something that if you really wanted, I have a platform for you.
But they're like, nah.
And I always told them I'm a comedian. Like, I'll freestyle with you a little bit, but I'm a comedian. Like, it would just be about the funniest shit I could say, like, always, you know?
I feel you. Do you ever get in front of your friends and, you know, do your sketches in front of them to get their receptions?
Oh, 100%. And actually, I would like test jokes out without, I still do that. Like, say a joke in conversation, and if the person laughs, I'll be like, all right, I'll try that on stage.
Right,
but
exactly.
because if I go, hey, I'm about to tell you a joke, you're going to be like waiting for it. But if I just like slip it into the conversation, like mad funny, we were talking about Googling your name.
Natural reaction if you do it that way.
Yeah, you were talking about Googling your name way before, and I had to say this. I'm remembering now. I Googled my name once, and there's one Sam Buck that's more famous than me. And if you Google this, you can find this out. There's a Forbes article called "The Next Big Gay Country Star, Sam Buck."
Jeez.
I'm like, God damn it, bro. And he's from Massachusetts, too. And I'm like, I got to get more famous than this dude, bro. Like, I can't be the lesser known Sam Buck to the next big gay country star, bro.
Yeah, that's a harsh one. You got to keep going, bro. Get your shit really to classic material, so you be the first one when you type this shit up.
Would you ever do your own album cover? Draw your own album cover?
I've thought about it before. You know what? Everything is so digital these days. Like, a lot of the artists, like, I be thinking that they actually sketch it before they do it, but a lot of them will just do it on their computer. So I don't know that. I don't got.
You think that's cheating?
Kinda. For me personally, because I would rather draw, illustrate it myself first, and then get the concept, and then boom. But I don't mind nobody doing it. You feel me? There's all kinds of art that's out there, collage art and all that shit too. So everybody got their own unique way of presenting the art. So I can't front you. You feel me?
Nah, I feel you. It's like people who can make music or make a funny video, whatever. Make music, make a funny video, make anything online. But then when you see them in person, they're trash. Like someone who's really funny on TikTok and then they can't make an audience laugh. Or like someone who's really good at like making a rap song online and then you see him perform and you're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. You got to be who you say you are when you out in reality.
And you got to work on everything. You got to work on all your crafts. Man, we got baked. We had a performance today.
That's why I'm a little hoarse right now. Like, my shit is hurting.
And we got another performance, supply and demand. I hope everyone comes out, man.
Yo, you want to say you telling any jokes on that shit?
Yeah, I'll be telling. I have a list that I did today of stories about rappers that I've had, and none of them are like. They're all true, and they're all names.
Like, you better be careful, because even if you don't say a name, if a rapper hears about it, they'll remember it in their head, and they'll have it in their head like, wait till I see Sam, bro.
But these people are my friends.
Okay, that's good.
I would never talk trash about someone I didn't have
okay, I feel you.
And these aren't talking trash. These are true stories. Most of them are on camera because they're on the podcast.
Are you actually saying the rappers' names?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
I have a story about Crime Apple, Ito, Rome, Conway, but you can watch that shit on camera.
You got actual footage on YouTube?
Yeah.
I'll check you out, bro.
Yeah, sure. That's what I record all this shit. Like the video will go out and everything, and then people listen to the audio too.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, thank you for doing this. It was an honor because I'm a real fan.
Bro. I appreciate you, man.
Of course.
Y'all make sure y'all add Supply and Demand 3, August 27th.
I'll be hosting.
Josiah, Umbrella.
Don, WIllie The Kid, Umbrella, create a bunch of people.
Word.
Peace out.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.